Welcome everybody to an episode of SPAT. Here we are in the building. I'm glad to be here back again. We are here with a superstar, good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, NBA legend, entrepreneur, big brother, everything under the sun. Here for you high school kids to support the measure of what's going on. Welcome John Sally, everybody.
What up?
What's up, fam?
Bernie?
You good?
One love, family. One love.
You look smaller than yesterday, but
I know, man, because I had all my lights going yesterday.
Oh, you had.
So I had the look going. I had to switch the look up.
So a little bit about what we're doing today, John. This is called Sports Talk, and what we're doing is we're talking directly to Oakland Unified School District kids who are in the SPAT program, which is a wonderful program for student athletes like yourself. You know, back in the day when you was in high school, making that transition into the real world and then hopping and playing 15 years in the NBA. So this is what SPAT is all about, Sports Talk, and we wanted to talk to you, man. So I want to first thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, definitely. Anytime you call me, anything for Oakland. I had a building up in Oakland, and I was back in, let me see the year. 2001. And it was my idea to get this neighborhood that had a beautiful view and start making it, gentrifying it before they gentrified it, like beating everybody to the step. And then I meet you and I get up there and you're already doing exactly what I was talking about doing. So that's a good thing. So man, I'm pleased and thankful to be on this show.
It's a beautiful. Let's talk about your history. I want the kids to know who you are. A lot of my kids, man, they know you from being an adult actor in some pretty good films.
An adult actor? You mean an actor?
Yeah, an actor.
An adult actor would be,
Yeah. I mean, adult actor, not an adult actor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of my students, man, they're like, oh, is that John Sally from Bad Boys? I said, B, he played with Michael Jordan. He played with Shaquille O'Neal. He played with all the greats. He's not just an actor, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they know you about right now.
Well, that's what I appreciate. When I was coming up, the ball players, the football players that became actors, I used to say, man, there's no basketball players. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it. And that was funny. And then he was in a movie with Bruce Lee. I was like, I can play ball and be an actor. In essence, I realized I can do anything I want in this life, period. And I've been living it that way ever since. If I see something, I go, I'm interested in that. I research and see how much time I got to put into it. And then I'm doing it. Like I'm right now getting my insurance license so I can become an insurance broker. Then I'm getting my daughter is deciding she was getting a real estate license. I'm getting a contractor's license. Like I literally came up with an idea that I'm going to build my next house. And then right after seeing you and seeing, our little brother Shamar's house, I totally am building my house next time.
Oh yeah, concrete, lots of space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, man, and that's a good thing. So entrepreneurship is definitely a key of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And definitely, I want to take it back to I don't know what year you graduated from high school. I ain't even gonna say the year, but when you
82.
when you was in high school, they did not have stone basketballs. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, when you were in high school, what was it like to be the top 5 recruit from high school? What was your mental like?
Well, just to give everybody, when I went to high school, hip hop was only 9 years old when I graduated high school.
Wow.
Right. So I was rhyming down. I was in Atlanta rhyming, and they were like, "Oh, you're great." Yeah, because I was bringing a new form. I was already in Atlanta trying to do it. But being recruited, let me put it this way. I grew in high school from 5'10" to 6'9" in 3 years.
Whoa.
So I went from 5'10", 5'11" to 6'9" when I left high school in just 3 years. So that was a major thing. And, you know, they were like, well, he's tall, he's getting tall, he's going to be this. But you really don't want to just recruit people because they're tall. And so the blessing was I got to play all the positions. And when I left, I had to make a decision, man. It was like, you know, when I knew it was different is we went to try out for this team called Gauchos. And it was like 15 of us from my project. I'm from Bayview Housing in Canarsie. 15 of us. I'm the only one that made it from my squad, from my high school, from my neighborhood.
And how tall was you then?
I was 6'5". 6'5", about 6'5", yeah, going on 6. Yeah, about 6'5", going on 6'7", and then I played with the great Pearl Washington. I played with Don Marbury, which is Steph Marbury's older
his
brother.
Yeah. I heard he was a monster.
Yeah, he was. He was 6'9". So imagine he played like Steph, but was tall.
Right.
So Steph was amazing, though.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, the whole Marbury family was amazing when it came to basketball.
Hey, yo, you ever dunked on Michael Jordan?
Yeah, I dunked on everybody. Anybody that played in those times got the business. Okay. And I did it on purpose, too. Like, I would go to look for people to dunk on.
Right.
Like, I got a picture of dunking on Dominique Wilkins. He still don't believe me, and then I sent it to him. And he was like, why did I even jump? I said, I was asking you that while you were jumping. Yeah, I try to dunk on everybody. You know the difference, too, Terry, that I realized a lot of people didn't do? I have fun playing basketball.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, but as soon as it stopped being fun, I was out.
He was out.
I was out. And then I came back. To be with the Lakers, and it was fun again.
Right.
And it wasn't, you know, because I'd been on losing teams, and it's not fun to lose. But the thing that was really not fun was, you know, when you did win, you got like 15 minutes to enjoy it. Because, you know, they're going to come in and talk about it. You got to watch your words, you know, put ice on. And if you win on the road, which is a blessing, you got to get it back on that private jet. And you're watching the team who you're going to play next. So you never get to enjoy a win. But when you lose, man, they rub it in your face. Then you got to watch the film again on the plane and what you did wrong. And then you got to hear the radio in your own hometown, your newspaper. It's so funny on how people hop on the negative and don't celebrate the positive.
I feel you, man.
Remember that.
Now you mentioned one of the greatest basketball players that ever played the game that you played with, and that was the Lakers. You played with him for 1 year. We're talking about Kobe Bryant, and a lot of students looked up to Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? So
yeah, how
did you feel when that whack day that no one wants to talk about? You know what I mean? Like, how did you feel about your friend, your good friend, just, you know what I mean, going home?
Yeah, there was a deal because my mom's had passed 2 weeks earlier, and we buried her that Saturday, the 25th, and then Kobe happened on the 26th. Right. And so I was like, oh, man, Ma, don't nag him in heaven. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I tell you this about Kobe. I remember I asked Kobe, why did he go pro? And he said, because he heard Michael Jordan was retiring. Right. And he wanted to make sure that he played against him. And he said, I do everything young. So he went in the NBA young. He got married young. He retired. Yeah, he retired old. That's what I told him. But he was a guy who did everything in the amount of time he had. Right. Probably better than everybody else because it's, you know, people have that sign. You have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. Right. But can you imagine? We had the same 24 hours as Kobe. And right. This kid, oh my God, I don't even know. I think they doubled up days. You know, it was amazing. But he got it done in the 23 years that we got to meet him. Right. He got it all done. That was amazing. Right. There's another thing. What's amazing about that is Aaliyah died at 22.
Yeah.
And we didn't hear about her until she was 11. So we only had like 10 years of Aaliyah. So I look at it as the blessing for those souls giving us the amount of time they gave us.
Man, rest in peace to both those beautiful angels right now. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
But to get back to what we're talking about as far as high school students and your trials and tribulations of making that transition when you went to Georgia Tech, am I correct?
mm-hmm. Yes.
I
graduated from Georgia Tech.
You graduated, boom, and your fraternity, brother. So we got to mention that as well.
Yeah, Omega Psi Phi Incorporated, group.
Yeah, you know, I'm Phi Beta Sigma all day, so you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That whole coming from high school, and I know a lot of kids are listening. What was your mindset that day you graduated and you knew that you were going to like the #1 college in the world?
Okay, one, it was a Georgia Tech. Is like the MIT of the South, right? The Rambler right from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. But basketball-wise, they were rated the worst Division I team.
Boom.
And I decided to go. Well, this is exactly why I was thinking. I remember I graduated. I had this blue shirt on and these cream pants that were bell-bottom, and I was walking like I was the man.
Right.
And I liked this girl named Christy, and her father, you know, was giving me all the looks, and I didn't like that whatsoever because I was a cool kid, and I was like, yeah, this will probably be the last time you see me as a civilian.
Right.
And they were like, oh my God, who's this kid think he is? So since I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, I knew the chances and all the different temptations and the things that can get in the way that have been getting in the way of a lot of athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to endure that. So I graduated on a Thursday, and I was in a car going down south on a Sunday. And I got to Georgia on a Monday. Like literally, I went with this guy named Tim Harvey. We drove. He was from New Jersey. We drove down, and in his Thunderbird, I think it was. And we drove down, and I was in Atlanta.
Thunderbird.
You remember when they just came back out with them too? It was like this brand new one, the red one. It looked like Magnum PI. What was that? No, Kit Knight Rider. He had a Knight Rider, but it was red. And Firebird.
Oh, the Firebird joint.
Yeah, and I went down, and I got to Georgia, and I realized I was now having to grow up almost immediately. I'm not joking. The crazy thing is, my second year in college is when Coach Crimmins gave us a curfew. And I said, what's the curfew for? He said, you know, you don't want to be hanging out. I said, man, I sleep. So just to let these cats know how my day works is I have as many times as I can take a nap, I would take a nap. And we got practice at like 4:30. And sometimes we would finish at 6:30. And then the serving table would almost be closing. So we have to rush to get to it. So I remember telling Coach, I don't think it makes any sense if we're doing it the way you're doing it.
Right.
And he goes, what? I said, if you're supposed to be structure, then we should have structure practice. Because I have to structure in class and I have to structure studying. You can't run over when you feel like it. It messes up my structure, up all structure.
Boom.
And Coach Crimmins just thought I was being crazy. I said, no, dog, I don't mind 2 hours of practice. But it's 2 hours. We need to get in and get out.
Right.
All that lollygagging and you making things up. This is Georgia Tech. We have to be in class. We have to be in study hall.
So you was a serious student athlete.
Yeah, I was a student athlete.
You took it real serious.
And the reason I take it, even to this day, I read an hour a day.
Boom.
And people need to, whatever is happening, you know how like you got to go to sleep or you got to watch your favorite show. I stopped watching television unless I'm on it. And you guys can check me out on LA's Finest.
That's a plug.
Fox. You know what I'm saying? LA Finest, you know
Gabrielle
Union, Jessica Alba. Just thought I mentioned that I'm on that show, Dwayne Martin as well.
It don't stop.
Yeah, you just got to keep your money. And I just seriously believe that it's important that you keep your structure. I think it's important that you read. I don't really spend my time on negativity. So I will read and set my clock and read. Just like you said, hey, tomorrow we'll be at this time. I set my clock. When it goes off, I look and see what the alarm is in case I forgot what it is, but then I know I'm going. Boom. And it's not a bad thing. It's just certain times. I don't give you every hour of my life, but things that are important, get an alarm.
Boom.
And so I was like that with Coach. And I would realize that going to college wasn't enough. You can't just go to college. You have to graduate. One, it helps the school out. It's you starting something and finishing it. And two, I think college is so important, but you should go into college to do what you want to do, not because they say that's the next step. That's the extended high school. Don't go as extended high school. Like I tell every Black kid I know, become a finance major, period.
Boom.
Don't tell me you're going to be an architect. Okay, good. Don't tell me you're going to be a doctor and a lawyer. Okay, cool. If I were you, I would go into finance because guess what? A doctor, a lawyer, an architect are all doing their job for their finances. So if you learn finance, you'll never be out of work and you don't have to work for anybody else.
There it is then. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it right here. John Sally's giving you game, boy, giving you game right off the top, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Whatever we got to do is you're taking it very serious. And then you made a miraculous decision a long time ago to become vegan. And that just, and now you got me on that path. You know what I'm saying? I'm still
chomping
down a few pork chops every now and then. But I'm saying I'm getting there, man. You know what I mean? You made a point to become vegan, and that blew my mind. And being young, and I want my young kids to know how important it is to treat your body.
Yeah, well, so the important thing is the only way you can make this Ferrari go is to put gas in it. If you don't put the right fuel in a Ferrari, it won't go. It will clunk. So imagine you be in a Formula One car going 220 miles per hour. If you don't put high octane gas, it can't perform at that level. So I found out that when you put dead things in a thing that's alive, it won't work. You have to have live batteries in with your live body. So, and I also found out that, man, all these Black people, we have these diseases are all diseases that we don't have to have. And they all came from food. It all came from the slave food we've been eating. Chicken wings, chitlins, pig feet, pig ears, chicken gizzards, chicken necks, oxtail, ox tongue.
Young blood.
like all of a sudden we realize, ooh, that's good. No, it's not good. It's the seasoning that is good. Because that was all of the stuff they threw out to the slaves.
Right.
So we had to make best do. And so in our brain, y'all, this is soul food. No, that's slave food. Soul food is vegan. That's the stuff that feeds your soul.
So what
that's
would you tell? So what would you tell a senior in high school who's 6'6", named Micah Allen? What would you tell him to eat every day? What would you tell him to eat right now?
I would tell him right now to wake up and drink 24 ounces of water, spring water in the morning. I would tell him to eat every bit. At 11 o'clock, I make that alarm go off and eat every bit of fruit you can possibly eat until 2 o'clock. I want you to eating like a gorilla. And then at nighttime, you can have that quinoa. And I know everyone's wanting quinoa. Why not rice? Well, you can have dirty rice, and you can have, which is San Francisco dirty rice, and you can have in Louisiana, or wild rice, what I meant to say, black rice.
Yeah.
Black rice, yeah. You can have that. It's the white rice that is the problem.
Right.
Yeah, it's the starches inside. But the deal is I would tell them to eat as much vegetables. And to tell you the truth, you don't eat meat for protein. You eat meat because they told you it was good for you, but it's not. It's not. You're not eating it for protein, because if you wanted protein, you eat vegetables.
Right.
Because your body is bioavailable to vegetables. That's where you get your protein. You know, I was talking to this 800-pound gorilla with all those muscles, and I said, "You a raw foodist?" And then he pointed over to the ox, and everybody want to be as strong as the ox and forgets that the ox eats grass. So I just cut out the middleman, not literally cutting him, but I just eat what literally my body can take, what's bioavailable. And think about it. All these guys break down, they get to a certain thing and their body is hurting. Right. All you gotta do is check their stomach. Because if you're not giving your body the right things, it's gonna break down.
You heard it first from a professional athlete. Only drink water, eat a bunch of vegetables, and that's it. And chill and play basketball.
Fruit,
whatever.
Bunch of fruit, man. That's right. Breathe. Be
a gorilla.
Right? Be a gorilla.
Yeah, that's gonna be my new clothing line.
You see what happened to 50 Cent when he went G-Unit? He got rich.
Yeah, 50 Cent got shot 19 times.
That shows you. That shows you. When you're a gorilla, you can live.
Yeah. Yo, and I'm gonna ask a couple more questions before we get out of here. How important was it for you to have mentors or organization like SPAC when you was coming up in high school? How important was that transitioning from college and being the top 10 draft pick? You know what I mean? How important was that to have organizations like SPAC that help you, and mentor, things like that? How important was that for you?
Well, it was unbelievable because I had a guy, Ted Gustis, still alive to this day, didn't miss All-Stars in New York. He's putting together the Brooklyn Hall of Fame, High School Hall of Fame. And he has a program called, you can hashtag One Breath, Ted Gustis, Gustus. He really changed everything. He was 22 years old when I was 12, and he was the coach of this huge program. And he would get high school players that he felt had coaching ability, and he would teach them or put them in a position to coach. And the best thing about it is he was literally building leaders constantly. And we all still stay in contact with him. We all get back around with him. He was just here last week for his 66th birthday. He was an unbelievable guy. Then I had a guy, Barney Davis. Barney Davis would come out to the park. When I found out when I did this interview a couple of weeks ago, he would work with all kinds, but he just saw me out in the park after school. Nobody was there. I just be in the park playing by myself. And he goes, "You gonna do this every day?" I go, "I do this every day." Boom. So he taught me part of my fundamentals. So it was very, very important to have people who didn't have an agenda. And a guy named Arnie Hershkowitz. Arnie would come in. He showed me a move that literally I showed Chris Webber. Chris Webber went on to make $86 million with it. I didn't make anywhere close to that. But I literally, these people that some people thought they had an agenda. And there's some people out there who are not good for you. Like they're doing this so you can you can take care of them later. Well, if they do their job right, you'll take care of them later. Right. You don't have to say this is why I'm doing it. Right. So it was important that I had these guys, black, white, Latin, right. Your life. Jewish, Christian, none. I mean, I had a lot Muslims. I had this one Muslim coach who was no joke, and he showed me discipline. So all of those things that you would hear in the news that people are afraid of. Nah, man, when people are good people, they're good people. Man, and when they not, So don't sit around and say, I don't know. When somebody's not good spirit, your energy, trust your feeling. All right, bet. Yo, man, John, man, it's incredible talking to you, man, about what you're doing, what you're going to. I briefly want to talk about your entrepreneurial state of mind, yes. After basketball. And I want our students to hear what that's like. You know what I'm saying? Give me something in 20 seconds. I give it to you. So I opened up Cafe Organics. I started thinking about which is in San Bernardino, in case you ever want to go, 420 East Hospitality Lane. In case you ever see something that's lacking and you can figure out how to make it not lack, that's your business. Boom. Yo, John Sally in the building. Yo, one man, love. Say thank you, man. And anything you want to say to the Oakland student athletes out there? What do you want to say? Yeah, I want to say go vegan, go plant-based, go to johnsally.com.
That's the plug, man. You know I love you, blood. I'll see you tomorrow in LA, man.
All right, one love, fam.
Peace. Thank you, baby.
All right.